So what are some of your goals, hopes, and expectations for the 2014-2015 season?
Uh, People always ask us about our goals, and we only set one goal, and that is to win the WBCA Top 25 Academic National Championship. That's really our only team goal, and we talk about that at least once a week. We think we have a chance to win that. Basketball-wise, what we're always trying to do is to get better every day. You know, I tell people that what we try to do is take technique and execution and match it up with effort. And if you do that every day, you have a chance to reach your potential as a team. It's really hard at the middle major level to talk about expectations or make predictions because so many teams are very close. The players are all talented basically at the same level. There's great coaching at this level. There's no real home court advantages. So it's hard to make those predictions. You want to take care of yourself. You take care of your team, work as hard as you can, develop your team to the best of its ability, and then you see where it goes because you have no control over how good the other teams are.
Oh, you're just talking about the academic team. You guys have been a part of that for a while now. What does that mean for you as a coach to have the team be on that list?
Well, for us, it kind of shows that as a student athlete, you can have it all. You can do both. You can be a pretty good basketball program, and you can be a high-level student. The grade point average for our starting lineup is 3.75. We've finished in the top 10 now 3 years in a row. We were as high as ranked number 2 years ago, and we really believe that we can compete for number 1. And it's important. It gives our kids something to strive for outside of basketball. And a lot of the things that we do in our overall program, are to help ensure that we can reach that goal.
Now, you and this group of seniors, you've been on quite a journey. First couple of years struggling. Now you got into the points where you had a very successful season. I guess, do you and the team feel like with all you've been through that you could take the experiences that you've learned in the past and bring them into this year and maybe another successful, hopefully, season?
I think it's possible. This group plays very well together. They know each other's strengths and weaknesses. They've played our system now for a couple of years. I think at the middle major level of women's college basketball, experience is as important as talent. So we have a lot of girls now. Our whole starting lineup has played at least 90 college basketball games. So they're not intimidated by environments. We've played and beat teams that went to the NCAAs. But still, that's last year, that's in the past. You have no way of knowing what happens in the future. And that's why you have to concentrate every day on making yourself better as an individual and as a team.
What are some of the lessons that you think you've learned as a head coach? Because you were an assistant, so what are some of the lessons that you've learned, being a head coach? And I know you've been coaching for a while now, but have you learned anything new with being with this group?
Well, the one thing you learn after 40 years is, and I've been, a head coach most of that time, but also as an assistant. The one thing you learn that each team is different. Each year is different. There's a different puzzle every year. There's a different dynamic. This year's team is, you have a veteran starting lineup and you have an all-rookie bench, which is the direct opposite of what we had last year. Last year we had a somewhat experienced lineup, but we had a very experienced bench. So that changes the dynamic right there. And that's one of the things that you learn, that at the middle major level, things don't necessarily carry over. You always have to have a starting point, all right, and build that individual team. And that's basically what we have to do.
I guess you could say you and the team have built a legacy now playing very good basketball at St. Francis. How do you keep that legacy alive with the new incoming freshman class?
Well, one of the things that I am most pleased with our returning veterans is that they've taken on the responsibility of leadership. That doesn't always make them friends. It's tough for them because they're 4 years older than kids coming in out of high school who are used to being really good players. So it's difficult for them, but every day they try to help them in practice, all right? And I think the freshmen see the responsibility of leadership that they will eventually inherit. And that's such a big part of college basketball. And that's one of the great lessons that college basketball participation teaches, the responsibility of leadership.
Now, for those who've never been down to St. Francis for a game before, you have any message for them to come on down and check you and the team out?
Yeah, there's some great restaurants in the area. We always try to play very hard. I think if people who have seen us play think we're a throwback team, the style of play that we play is really a throwback to the way basketball was maybe played 30 years ago. And you're going to see very intelligent, hardworking young women play the game with great enthusiasm and great effort.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Stacy.